Nerd Soul.
That's what I'm talking about. Late ill kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. That's right, anime-ish podcast. We are chilling because Jujutsu Kaisen is back. Thank you all. The sorcerers in the world can now be at peace. And we are not by ourselves. That's right. We got one half. Might be getting the whole, but we got at least one half of the dynamic duo of the South. That's right. I'm bringing to you Mr. Cooper of Blurtish. What's up?
Mike had to call an audible. He said he got to do the debut of this one in an extra special, extra release, hot off the presses, anime-ish. Shout out to everybody who's listening at www.blurtish.com. We're gonna talk some sorcery, I guess. More like
Yeah.
dope animation with them fighting and
I
they
mean
beating up
it's
stuff.
it's curses, but they're essentially ghosts. But I mean, don't worry about it. Don't ask no questions. They're beating up ghosts, and that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? It is
Can they be you? But can they be Yu Yu Hakusho? But can they be Yu Yu Hakusho? Aha!
um I don't
Maybe go.
know.
Maybe Gojo can. I ain't gonna lie. Gojo's strong as
Gojo
hell.
Gojo got man skills.
He got too much power.
So let me break down why this prequel of a series is already winning. I want to give a shout out to Windows XP. That's right. Windows XP made its debut on this show. We ain't seen XP in years. XP was looking good on that computer screen. He turned it around and said, "Look at this. This that hot new off the press." You know what I'm saying? Had the windows all right. I gotta give love to Mappa for taking a brother back when he saw that Windows XP. I was like, man, you took a brother back. And I kind of miss XP a little bit.
I mean,
I,
XP was it worked.
I mean, I kind of miss it a little bit.
It wasn't what Windows 10 or something, which or Vista.
Oh, Vista. Oh man. Oh yeah.
XP had
Whew.
to save us from Vista. They tried to go to Vista, like right back to XP.
It's like, yeah, let's go right back to what. Thank you, man. Don't get me started. But into the show, since this is a prequel, I know there's probably a couple people that's like, yo, hey, do I have to watch the first season? Not exactly,
No,
but
it don't hurt, but no, you don't have
you
to.
don't have to watch it since I see where we've gone back to. Because when they said prequel, I didn't, at least, or either I didn't know. Well, I didn't know, and I didn't read enough to see where they meant as far as prequel, how far back they were going.
Really, you didn't read none of that?
No, I just
Oh,
said
hey,
once they said it was a prequel, I was like, all right, I'll see it when it comes out. Um,
well, you do
uh,
not read no trades, no trade
nope,
lines.
nope.
I
I want
read.
because I want to see it when it comes out. I don't want to know. Just like the whole thing when people be doing set photos, like, ooh, guess who we saw on set? I'll be like, don't show me
I
that. I just
understand
want to
for the
see when it come
movies,
out.
but for anime, like I just like to know kind of what I'm getting into. Especially if since I didn't really watch season one, I just watched the clips and I know the characters and
Whoa,
everybody knows
whoa.
Gogo.
He ain't watched season one. Oh,
Because
snap.
there's no need to for a prequel. But
Oh,
I did watch the
oh,
Jujutsu
this.
Kaisen Zero movie, so
Mm,
I
mm,
already got enough
mm,
idea what's going on in the world.
mm. Should be ashamed of yourself. He gonna come in. You see how he gonna come in here and act like he been watching everything and then be like, I ain't watching it, y'all.
Nope, I'm just
Mm,
saying I read. Aha, listen,
You ain't all you read is that it was gonna be a prequel. You ain't see
I
this person.
read
Shame on you, sir.
the prequel, read that it was gonna be a prequel and what time frame. I was like, all right, hey, cool.
Mm.
It's like,
Well, should you watch season one? Yes, you should. Now, this happens way before season one because this happens before the movie, and the movie happens before season one. So
yep.
it was interesting seeing them do this because this is something that I wanted from another series in anime that I think is awesome. It is fantastic, fantabulous, if you will. I would love to see a prequel of Cowboy Bebop when Spike, that's right, Spike was back there young and fresh, and so was Vicious. I would like to see that. I don't think we ever gonna get it. We can give that up. It ain't
Oh,
never gonna
I
happen.
guarantee you, we never gonna get it. I don't have to, but I would take it if it happened. But it ain't a must for me.
Well, I
I
mean,
kind
I'm
of
a,
like.
I'm gonna keep it real. I didn't want to go back in the prequel, but when I saw this episode, I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. I can rock with this."
Only reason why I say that for like say a Cowboy Bebop because I like the weird offbeat kilter mysteriousness of it that don't always jive. It just makes it unique. I don't really need to know every nook and cranny with Vicious. Honestly, I wanted the live action show to do that, and people got up in arms. I was happy with that, so you know,
That live
I
action
don't
show,
know.
I'm gonna leave that alone. But back to this. No, you don't need to watch it. You don't need to watch season one just yet. But I would. But this, in a good way, I guess, because it kind of gives us a breather from Itadori, at least
It,
for a
it
little bit.
what this does, and actually, in my opinion, it focuses on. It's like a ultimate fan service move. People love Gojo from just when
Yeah,
JK was hot. People like the lead character, but it's like he clearly got overshadowed easily. Like just from the memes, the way people talked about it, the way people discussed it, the way the people who have their weird anime crushes on Gojo. So that became a thing. So
it's the eyes, man. It's the eyes, man. He be killing
I
them.
guess it's the eyes, man. He just pulled the shades down, and he be
Yep.
dancing in hell. Lost in
He
Paradise.
be,
When you
yep. He
watch
be
you gotta watch the
lost
ending.
in paradise. You know what I'm
That
saying?
became a hit. So, and honestly, in a weird way, this gives more value to the season one because now me and Mark, I have a reason after I watch this then to watch season one. Once, okay, clearly the anime or the creator saying, "Hey, you're gonna get all the Gojo you need. Care about Gojo, care about Gojo." So it's like, okay, this is kind of like he's really the main character, and then we kind of like peeling back to see him deal with his proteges or people he gotta his students. So now that we have three things, distinct things of JK, is basically Gojo is the man. He's a
Yeah.
great teacher, and he's taking on these different insane projects, if you will. So
Well, I
I
mean,
kind of
now
like.
we kind of see Gojo. He's much younger. He's a student himself.
Well, I'm just saying, like, to say that the premise of JK is really he's now the main character now. Period.
Yeah,
No
because
matter
it did.
what, like
The way they handled
it's
it was
three.
like, he was going to be kind of a coach or something, and now it seems
Yeah,
like this, like,
three. You got
you're going to see this through
three
his eyes.
distinct stories, and now it's kind of through you're really looking through his lens, even
Yep.
if he's not the main of each. Say every particular story, like, or he doesn't carry it, but he's like a co-lead and he still comes through with all his stuff. So it's like now that you look at the totality of the three things we have with JK, I have to say Gojo is the main character. And now we get to really see what shaped him. So it's kind of even
Yep.
more, you get more, like I said, you get more of them. So I kind of like that they just like, look, we know who y'all like. We'll get back to what's his name in the future eventually.
Yuji.
Yuji. Yuji's cool, but we know what you want.
Yeah, it's like we like Yuji. We know you like Yuji, sort of, but everybody want Gojo.
Yeah.
Here's my hope though with Gojo, that he doesn't get oversaturated, because this is the third project, and I don't want him to lose his mystique that he kind of has about himself. But I'm trusting the process. I'm trusting the squad. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be all right. And we not only see Gojo, but we see Geto when he's or Geto when
Yeah, man.
he's younger, when they're cool.
I kind of like watching the movie. I like that character, and I thought he was a cool villain. He had a great design or whatever. And to
Last
see that
time we
he's the
saw him, he had
level-headed,
his arm blown off.
he did have his arm blown off. It's a mystery if he still was survived or if he was let go.
Oh, he
or if
made
was
that.
murdered.
He good. He made it.
So you think Gojo just like, all right, you my boy, I'm gonna let you go. You saw
I
the
don't
error
think
of your ways.
Gojo killed him. I
He was
don't
about
know,
to,
man.
he was
'Cause
about
he
to put
said
him in that
he
time
still
box.
called him his best friend. So I
And
don't think he killed him.
And
I
you
mean,
know
I
what's
know they left
wild?
it ambiguous, but I don't think he killed him.
what's so wild is in just one episode of the prequel versus the movie, you see how their philosophies have already shifted.
Yep.
Whereas he used to be like, "Hey man, we're for the weak. We're here to keep this." Basically, we're like Doctor Strange for the people who are familiar with Doctor Strange. We got to
Hmm.
keep this garbage away from normies so they don't see this and their mind don't be blown. In the movie, he like, forget those people. We're gonna kill them all, and we're gonna inherit the world. It's gonna be for us. So a lot
Yep.
happened to old boy, and he didn't change. He didn't get a mean demeanor. His philosophy became a terrorist.
Yeah,
So
because he we in the movie, well, in this episode, I think they put that there on purpose for us to see
oh
them,
yeah,
so that we'll know, oh, so these two characters are going to change philosophies because they literally swap.
they swapped, and because yeah, Gojo's kind of a little punk right now. He's feeling himself. He's like, look, I'm hot-ish out here. I'm
Can't
super
nobody tell him
strong.
nothing.
Blah blah blah. I'm just joking around. Y'all really like I'm a student. I'm stronger than you sorcerers. Y'all can't really contend with me, but I'm gonna let y'all pretend y'all can contend with me. And
Mm,
it's like the only homeboy I kind of care, the only person I kind of respect is Geto because he clearly is cold and he can do some things and he makes my life efficient and he understands, like he gets me probably to a point. So I think this is going to be a really good season because unless this is going to be more than one season of this prequel, we're gonna have to see something really terrible happen to Geto to get his mindset to what he became in the movie. Because
yeah, and
eventually he has to leave away.
even in the movie when they come to save Okutsu, I believe, when they come to save him, and when he's with Rika, like Gito is like, "Oh, this is beautiful. Look at sorcerers helping sorcerers." So it's like this weird thing where he's a villain, but then it's like he's like pro
He
sorcerer.
respects the. Oh, he's super pro sorcerer. He's like,
He was
whatever
like he
happens,
was like, "This is so
he.
beautiful to see sorcerers." It's like, yeah, but you also trying to kill them too. You know that, right?
I mean, I think he kind of gave him that option. Like they always do. Is like, all right, if y'all chill, I ain't gonna kill y'all. I like y'all. Y'all like my little
And
people out
even
here.
Gojo did say, "I sent them because I was trusting that you wouldn't kill them."
See, and that shows how much they know each other. How
Yeah.
much that he's like, look, I'll do. We're adults. We gonna have to handle it. But yeah, I'm not gonna kill. He's like, I don't really want to kill the future of the sorcerers. I want to do this for them, and eventually they will appreciate it.
Hmm.
So
So yeah, like that whole issue with Gojo and Gito in this is awesome to see them as friends, see them just talking about their philosophies, their standpoints on what they do, because what they do is crazy. Um, and it's like, knowing that they will come head to head probably at the end of this season, or the end of who knows what they're going to do. Because one thing I hope now that we have this, I'm kind of hoping that each season is different.
I
Because
wouldn't
this
mind each
kind of like
season.
American Horror Story, but not where the first three seasons are hot and then it just becomes redundant and whack. But um,
To
I
be
know there's gonna be
honest,
some American Horror Story fans up in here that's gonna be mad. But
I,
look,
hey
American Horror
man,
Story had like three hot seasons, right? And then
they
that
should have
joint
killed
just
it probably after 3. I didn't watch it, but I felt the heat and how he was talking, and next thing it was like,
yeah.
it did not hold like Nip Tuck. Ryan Murphy is he's a legend out
Yo,
here, but
shouts to Nip Tuck, man. That
Nip
used to
Tuck
be
was
hot.
hot for a good 7. You know,
Nip Tuck was on point.
Nip Tuck was hot even when it was cold.
Even when I'm out, I'm in. But I be down to see this show take on a different time period or standpoint every season. I'd be down for that. You know what I'm saying?
I am
So
very
it's like
much.
it'll help them kind of refresh themselves over and over. So I'd be completely down for that if they did it.
I am fine with that idea. Archer did it to a point, not always to the best of it. I skipped out on some, like, I love Archer. I didn't give a damn about Dreamland and Nazi jokes back in the day while he was in the coma. But it's like, the fact that they realize like, all right, we got to do something, or we're gonna probably get canceled. Let's
Yeah.
just whip up something with this character that we can do this with in different kind of time frames, this that, and then we can go back to the story, because you can always go back to Yuji, but you can go into pivotal points of Gojo's life, because again, you basically are admitting that Gojo is your main character. So
Yeah.
you can do 2 seasons of Gojo, or if you want to get a little fancy, you could maybe do a little offshoot, half offshoot season with some of the lady characters, figure out some of their backstories, come in, pepper in some Gojo, blah blah blah, and then you can have more stuff go on with different students. Because you know who did that? Soul Eater. I love Soul Eater.
Mm.
Soul Eater not it was it was okay. I ain't gonna say it was like, I ain't gonna be like, oh, it was bad. Like, nah, I was interested in Soul Eater. Not Soul Eater. The main thing, I read the manga and I watched it because this was the time where manga and the anime ending different, because they bumped up against each other. So they just kind of had to make their own anime ending. The anime ending is actually better to me than the book, because the book was just getting bizarre. So sometimes, folks, the filler is better than the actual source. I promise you. But
It does work out
yes,
sometimes. It does.
Soul Eater did that, and then they kind of like, the main characters were like, they were star pupils, and they survived their deal. Then you had followed like 3 new students who came to this school, which in a way they're kind of like similar to monster hunters or spirit hunters, and gotta
Yeah.
collect spirits and all that. So similar vein, more poppy, which it's, I think it's Trigger. So Mappa's bigger brother contemporary that make these weird things that can pop, whatever. So it works. Like, I would mind seeing it as an anthology, a progressive anthology that moves the story along but takes on a different story each time, but moves towards a goal. um that's kind of JoJo-esque, where he's like, you know what, we're just gonna pop up in different points in Gojo's life, and
Okay.
you
I can be
know
down with that. I can be
that
down with that.
that that kind of, in a weird way, makes him the supernatural version of Lupin, in a weird way. Lupin, now of course Lupin doesn't
Ah.
age, so you can't really, it's not a one-to-one comparison. Lupin is not meant to age, but Lupin pops up in different, he's
I
Lupin, but
mean,
he's like, they
they can
bring,
always put out a timeline and be like, all of these shows and movies happen within like 2 months. Like they could they could like do something weird like that and be like, oh yeah, all this stuff happened like within two, and you'd be like, what? Be like, yeah, yeah, it was just really busy.
but if Gojo is the sorcerer, a damn near sorcerer supreme, then it kind of is his story, and maybe Yuji is still his, maybe his ultimate test, what he got to deal with, since Yuji is so strong. You never know. So who's to say? And I guess it can
Okay, okay.
always go bad, because I know the little bit I know of Yuji. I guess he always have to suppress the demon that's within him, so it can always go bad. I guess, unless they came to one of those,
But it seems like he
typical
kind of has what's it,
anime.
Sukuna?
Yeah, so they
He
they
seems like
cool.
he's pretty much has him under control though. I mean, yeah, he breaks bad a
Okay,
little bit, but for the most part, Yuji got that.
okay. So maybe it's just,
I mean, it seems like, I mean, Sukuna, or he'll kind of pop out every now and then, but he'll try to wrestle some control, but then Yuji be like, nah, nah, Sukuna, go on and sit your butt down.
So I'm gonna ask you, would you want, what would you prefer? More building up through Gojo's life, or different people through a couple of years, or would you rather see stuff like more movies from JK? Which we haven't even did a
Hmm.
movie of the main line yet, so, or would you like to see more dance around in the past? Maybe a movie in Gojo's previous, maybe does this lead to a movie? What would you want? Would you want a theatrical movie of more Gojo?
This is it. This is kind of interesting because, like, when I finished the first season, I was really hyped on the story that we were with. And when we got the movie, I thought that we were going to be kind of following in that line. And when we did a prequel, at first I did not like the movie. Um, because I was like, I wanted to see what, I was like, dude, where are we going? Like, yo, what's going on with Yuji and stuff? Like, let's finish up. Let's go. Like, let's finish this stuff. But the more I watched, like I watched, JK Zero a couple of times, and then I was like, you know what? I actually kind of like a different period because we can always come back to, Yuji Itadori and see him, but this does give us another aspect on the life and the lore of Jujutsu Kaisen. So, you know what? I'd like to explore a little bit more. Like let's see, like Shoko or something like that. Or let's see, like the whole deal with like the panda and stuff. Like let's see if we can stretch, and not saying that we need a full theatrical movie on like a specific character like Shoko or something like that. But, we could spend some time getting into more of the lore of like the elders and why they make the decisions they do. We do see in this show that we're getting some Fushiguro before he's in Jujutsu Kaisen. So we're getting like a view of him that we, I guess, didn't expect, because when we see him in the show, we're like, oh, he's one of these sorcerers. And now when we see it in this episode for the season 2, we're like, oh, so this dude was like sort of like a bounty hunter back in the day. And I guess but how was he also a bounty hunter but then joined a high school? Was he like dropping bodies at like 12? Like what? Hold up, how are these kids? So that's another that's the Japanese age thing. That's how they do.
That's where you don't ask questions of his time period of his life.
Yeah. But you know what? I think if this season ends up being as good or being as good as the first episode, because I like the first episode a lot, I'd be willing to explore more stuff, like more about the world of Jujutsu Kaisen. Like these curses, who has the power over the curses, maybe some other villains come in, maybe explore some other aspects of sorcery and stuff of that nature. Even though sorcery is more like just like the illest ninjutsu kung fu styles ever. Cause
they just like to say they're sorcerers, but they're like,
nah, they ain't sorcerers. They just displaying hands.
They are martial artists who shoot energy. They do more martial arts than Dragon Ball. Let's just be honest.
Bruh.
Like
if you go to Jujutsu Kaisen, when you go to the movie, the Zero movie, bruh, Gojo, I hate they had to do it to a brother, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? Gojo be giving mad hands.
You mean they had to do it to George Clinton?
But I'd say, you know what? I'd be down to do, like, after this season, do another movie, and then kind of following that format. Do like a season, a movie, a season, a movie. Hopefully we don't have to wait a super long time, but I know we also had the pandemic. So that, that made this show, made every show kind of suffer as well. And now we're getting the writer's strike. Well, the writer's strike is in America, but you know what I mean.
Well, since this is, maybe Mappa is doing good. Now Mappa, you read what they're saying, how they make their money, or what they need people to do to buy the Chainsaw Man merch. Basically, as more Chainsaw Man stuff happens and Jujutsu Kaisen work out, it's going to work out for the whole Dark Trilogy probably. And I think they're starting to get it together, even though I heard rumors that Mappa's working conditions are a little grindy, a little less than subpar. So
are they doing
it's
the
like
Nintendo stuff where people got to sleep at their desk?
I don't know, man, but basically, don't expect probably, unless it is a major hit, which Jujutsu Kaisen has the ability to be. I guess if COVID don't get in the way, maybe it'll come back every year now. It did have that long wait.
Very long.
Chainsaw Man is not coming back this year. It's coming back 2024. So they're kind of rotating between that and the other stuff that pays the bills, like the smaller stuff that they got to do. But the big three is this. What else they did? I guess I got
Hell's Paradise, Chainsaw Man, and Jujutsu Kaisen, pretty much.
And I mean, there's probably
that
one
seem to be their biggest, highest profile projects.
Their biggest shonen type of stuff. Even though I kind of don't want to put Hell's Paradise as shonen, but I guess it counts. Yeah, I don't know why, but sure.
I mean, it's not shonen. It's not.
It's in
I guess you wouldn't
between
consider
a
it
little bit.
shonen in like the energy, but it's just very fighty.
It's
You know
very
what I'm saying?
fighty, but far as yeah, I know Sherry say how whatever book it's in. I know the old definition is what age group is it aimed at?
Yeah, I
I
think it's
can't
the
say this is
publisher
age.
and the age group, I think.
I just can't say this is aimed towards young boys.
Nah, this
This
is
is
very
very adult.
clearly a more young adult kind of,
This is like yeah, young adult. I
because you're
guess
talking
it would
about like
translate to.
gallons of blood between these three shows.
I would say
I mean, you
these
got a
are
dude
all
just drinking blood from a freshly killed monster in Hell's
yeah.
Paradise.
That
Then
ain't
you
for
go
12.
over to Chainsaw Man. The man is a chainsaw, all right? So I
And
mean,
he
all
cuts himself.
he's not a lumberjack, all right? So the chainsaw is being used for flesh. So it's blood everywhere, all over these three shows.
Blood and sexuality being discussed.
Oh yeah, I
So,
forgot because it's like people turning from men to women, and
well,
then
not even that. I mean, Chainsaw Man, he talking about
oh
touching what he
yeah,
want to touch.
yeah,
You know,
he just want one touch.
but hey, you get to learn about.
He out there like
I
Omarion, touch.
oh man, but I don't know. I don't know. We can make predictions all day long. What I do like, what I see so far in episode one, the animation was fluid. The
Bruh,
sound
you
was
ain't never
good.
lied.
The sound the voice actors were engaging and charming and funny and still like you kind of getting that it's like an anime buddy cop thing, with those two, with Geto and Jojo. And then you got the
Hmm.
ladies were doing their thing, how they were breaking that barrier at first. They were kind of goofing off, but it was like still serious. Like you
Yeah,
better
that
run.
whole opening
Like
sequence I loved.
that was
And
movie animation.
it was very and of course this is a reference meaning more of the energy of it. It was very Ghostbusters-y.
Very much so. Like we going into
But in
this.
a good way. Like,
Yes.
you know, when she was like, "You'll need this. I don't need this flashlight." And then, of course, her like busting every door open, trying to psych herself up, like, ha, ha, ha.
Like yeah, that's very much like Bill Murray and them going when they go into the hotel. And it's their first bus, and they meet Slimer, and it's
Man,
like you got to do this whole thing. You can literally, if they wanted to put like somebody could probably make a Ghostbusters Jujutsu Kaisen where the legendary Ghostbusters song come in and where the room is tearing apart. That could have been where the whole Jujutsu Kaisen symbol, and
yep.
song plays in, and then they
Because
wake up under the rubble.
that hotel is still one. Like, there's so many funny moments in that hotel. The moment when they get on the elevator and the dude asks them what they're doing, he's like a big cockroach or whatever. Then the lady that they almost killed, the staff lady that's changing the rooms or whatever, they almost kill
Yeah.
her. Then when Ray's like, "Oh, he's really ugly, isn't he?" He's like, "I think he hurt you, Ray." It's like it's so many. Or when he's like, yeah, this is gonna cost like $8,000 or whatever. He's like, "I won't pay." He's like, "We can put it right back up in there." Like it's so that hotel, man. Don't get me started. Like I love Ghostbusters, and the comic book is dope too. But anyway, back to this. That opening sequence with two characters that I do not know, have not been introduced to in season one or in the movie, don't care about, not meaning don't care about in a bad way, but just like I don't know him, I don't care about him, I don't know anything. And I was locked in due to, well, no, we did see Geto at the very, very beginning. But when we get to that house, we don't know those girls. Those are just two random Jujutsu Kaisen high school girls. And I was engaged. The way, like you said, their vocal inflections, the music, the animation, especially the animation when it cued in on how her hand folded around the doorknob, like just, bruh, the quality was crazy, and I was sucked in. I was just like, yo, this show.
Like
I was like,
this
this show is
is
good. And even though I didn't want a prequel of a prequel, I'm actually cool right now. I'm
I
cool
mean,
with let's go and save this girl, because the storyline is basically save the girl. At least right now, it's the
yeah.
save the girl storyline, and I'm completely down with it. Seeing Geto's powers work, for good, not for bad. Um, it it really works for me in a way where I'm like, this level of quality is crazy.
And poor Geto, man, the way he just so vividly described, like, this is how you know he got my respect already.
Hmm.
Characters who have to have self harm to do their job. He's like, it's like eating vomit and ish
Yeah.
on a dirty rag to make
He
my
was like a
powers
dirty
work.
rag that mopped up vomit or something like that. I
It's
was
like,
like,
oh my
oh man.
god, y'all, I'm nauseous, but it's like I gotta root for this guy. Like when you do that, like that's like the dingy chainsaw man effect.
Hmm.
Okay, it's like damn, like poor Guido, because I can see why he might be long suffering and something happened to this guy, but he's so altruistic and so good right now and wants to do his job to the best of his ability, and he ain't suffering. Mr. Egomaniac Gojo's garbage. He's like, look, man, I'll
He's like,
take it
look,
to
you need to chill out a
like
little bit.
like well, we'll go outside with. I'll go outside with you. They playing ball. They try to one up each other a little bit, and Gojo just being, Gojo just going to the max. He throwing no look hook shots into the
And
rim.
see, this ain't the older Gojo that we see in Jujutsu Kaisen season 1, or even the older, a little bit older in JK0. We see this young Thundercat, you know what I'm saying, smelling himself, young, dumb, and full, you know what I'm saying. Can't tell him nothing. All right.
Like, I guess whatever his story is, like, he kind of had to become one, but they kind of like they're a little bit afraid of him because of his power level. So you got a guy who, if he don't want to listen, he could be a massive problem for you. But so he got to go through the trials and tribulations, and you get to see him become the senpai that he needs to be to
Yep.
help people like UG. Because if Gojo isn't doing it, because he's like the anomaly, the special case, then you need this guy on your side to help all these extra special cases when it comes to Jujutsu Kaisen sorcerers. So it's
Word up,
kind of
word up.
good to see his formation and how that works. And even though a relatively new character, but a beloved mega hit of a character, and I'm all for it. Again, shout out to the adaptations Mappa did of these 3 books. That Gabby ain't quite got the personality. He ain't got Denji's personality. He ain't got Gojo's personality. But you got these 3 thought-provoking heroes. Then you see what different levels they're at and what they got to do. And I like what Mappa is. Mappa ain't missing, man.
Yeah,
Like
because
it
I
just
think I think Gabby is. I think what they're shooting for is more of a tortured soul kind of thing. Especially
very
once he
much so.
find out that his wife ain't real.
Well, we don't know. It ain't
Well,
guaranteed.
the idea
The
is
idea is possible.
that his wife isn't real, and so I think he's more of a tortured soul
Very
as
much so a
opposed to
tortured soul.
yeah.
Denji is a
Um,
tortured soul who's fighting back to find the fun in it. It's
yeah.
like, I'm tired of taking y'all people ish. I'm gonna give it back to you. Now that I got
Him
the
and
power to give it
Pochita
back
just
to
chilling.
you. He got more to deal with, but in the meantime, he's going to become a young adult to do the stuff young adults do, maybe, or whatever,
Yeah,
while
he just wants
fighting.
some good food and some good love. That's all. You know what I'm
Hey
saying?
man, I can
I mean, is that too much to ask?
sometimes it is apparently. I mean, it's hard, man. It's hard
Oh
out here
boy.
for a chainsaw pimp. I don't
Yep, you
know.
know what I'm saying? You just half human, half demon, you know what I'm saying? You ain't did nothing. You ain't hurt nobody. Well, I mean, you ain't hurt nobody that was good. I mean, he definitely hurt bad people. But he, he ain't hurt nobody, you know what I'm saying?
So, as much as I love Chainsaw Man, I have to say the quality. Even though I know some people were giving Hell's Paradise slack because of how it's not as animated as the others, but you know what? I kind of like that stilted animation approach. It gives it a watercolor look,
Hmm.
like it's like more still paintings, and gives you time to reflect. You need
Yeah.
to save the money. Whatever animation for JK and Chainsaw Man, they need all the fluidity.
And
So
also, I do think they all need their distinct style so they don't
yeah,
run together.
I'm
Unless
glad
you're going
that
to say that not only are these all our properties, but in our version, all of these exist in the same world, which I don't believe they even have the
no,
permission to do.
no,
So,
because I think they're 3 different,
yeah.
mangakas. It's just they got the adaptation, so they
Yeah.
can't really override that.
So
Now, if it was
this,
Toy and Dragon Ball, and whoever writes Toy, they can do that because Toy is Toy. But yeah, Mappa ain't got Toy money.
yeah. Oh, also I wanted to kind of talk about the, I guess, our competition. You know what I'm saying? When we're going to get the girl, the principal brings up, I forgot their names. I'll try to think of get pick up their names real quick. But the principal basically brings up like, yo, look, there's another group. Can't remember if it was like Special Q or something like that. Whatever it
Yeah,
is, there's another group of people out there that want this girl too. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like one of those like you know,
yeah.
race
Cause
to
they,
the witch mountain or race, you know what I'm saying? It's got two groups. There's a special thing. I mean, they just did it in Transformers. They've done it in tons of things where it's like, hey, here's the special thing. There's two groups that want it. Go get it and get
yep.
it before them. And y'all are gonna have to fight each other to get, over it. But this once again opens up that lore of like, oh, who are these people? Oh, okay, all right. Well, we never knew about these people before, and
I hope it's as energetic as the raid in anime. Because I mean, they open up with a whole bomb in a room. When they
yeah,
get to there, it's like, hey man, I want to see it. Just if it could just, if they want to keep the series to just this apartment and it's just this the whole series, I am fine with that. If it's tight, tense, and they just want to make a 10 to 13 episode movie of Save the Girl, other stuff, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some breaking action once somebody get the girl, and they got to do more
yeah.
explaining,
Because she's gonna
anime
have to
explaining.
explain her side, maybe get a little background from her or something like that.
But I think for next three episodes, we about to get some high intense action, like right off the
Yeah,
bat.
because like you said, the second you go to try to get the girl, you end up with a bomb. Like they trying to kill that girl already.
Yeah, like they not even putting magic, like a straight bomb in your face.
Yeah, they
And
ain't
if
trying
he
no
didn't,
magic. They tried the old school.
hey bro, if Geto wasn't competent, he would have been dead like immediately. He was like, "Oh, I'm
Yeah.
fine," but he was like not happy about it. But he's like, "This dude, this code, he just on his cell phone. Like, look, man, yeah, they tried to blow me up. I had to wrap
Mm,
myself in rubber ball demon or something. I don't know, rubber ball curse or something.
yeah. And with they get the, what is it? The plasma. They called her. What did they call her? The plasma star, or the star plasma
Star
body or
girl,
whatever.
I don't know, superstar
Because of
girl.
course it lets the Tengen dude reset his curse or whatever, which is cool. But we see the other group doesn't want her for, they don't want her for like research. They just want her dead.
I mean, it kind of sucks any which way that whoever Tinian is, and I mean, I know what a Tinian is in lore. It kind of sucks that he just absorbs this girl and just like, oh, my body's straight, so I don't become a demon out here. It's kind of like she's just like screwed any which way. Is that how it works? I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
because it seems like she's destined to be similar to like Yuji. Like you're destined to be killed. Because even Yuji, even though like Gojo was like, all right, well look, check it. How about this? I can stay this execution until we finish our mission, but you still got to be executed, kind of thing. So
because he
maybe
got
it's that her
Sakuna in
whole
him, or
existence is basically like, yo, you gonna die. You just gonna die.
it's terrible, terrible thing, man. Terrible thing. But
Yeah, and the group that we dealing with, what is it? You got the star. He calls them the Star Religious Group. So it's like they essentially, they have the Curse User Group Q. That's who I was. So yeah, the Curse User Group Q. Those are the dudes in the suits, in the cool suits. You know what I'm saying? They just don't like Jujutsu Society. You know what I'm saying? They just don't like it. And I guess maybe they want to make this demon happen or whatever, but they don't like y'all. You know what I'm saying? They want it, and they wearing capes. All right. But then we also get a look into the Star Religious Group. So we
well, I think the Star
essentially
Religious
have,
group hired the other group. to
Yeah,
do their dirty work. But I guess you
most
will learn
likely.
more about them. So
Because it doesn't seem like he doesn't really say that those two groups are against each other. So I don't know if they're backing each other or not. But at least we have two other new players in the game to help fill out this world.
I think
Which
basically
I think is
they
really cool.
said they're non-sorcerers, but they got a lot of money. But see, generally that's the group that's gonna always is always gonna be somebody that do have powers that's gonna pop up in that group. That's gonna be
Hmm.
the problem, and they're gonna tear up a lot of ish. They just will. If anime has taught me anything, don't ever think that they don't have powers. Everybody got powers. Somebody got powers, and they gonna
Yeah,
get them.
they if they don't have powers, they know how to pay off someone who does or something like
And
that.
then they go absorb their powers, and then take the girl and get the extra powers and become a
Yeah,
giant beam of light
because
popping out the air.
when they're talking, when Geto and Gojo are talking, he's like, "Hey, I get why the user Q groups want her, but why would the Star Religious group want to kill a brat?" And I don't think they want to kill the girl. I think they want to take her power
Yeah, they're
or
gonna take
use
want
her
to take
as
her
a
power.
vessel.
Some, something not good that nobody needs to deal with this.
Because even though we do get a line that says that their object of worship is the pure form of Tengen, that doesn't mean that they want to. I don't know. I don't know if the Star Religious Group's motives are straightforward.
No, they're not. They
I don't
want
think they're straightforward.
they're a star religious group. This girl is the star girl. Her and Tingen are related, and they worship a Tingen. That is terrible. I'm telling you. A
Yeah,
Tingen, like at at best, a Tingen is a winged creature from the mountains that help create Ninjutsu. So you know it's already powerful. At worst, it is like a kaiju level thing that can still do ninjutsu that can blow you up.
yeah,
So it
and
ain't nothing
destroy tons
good.
of stuff.
So it's a powerful thing regardless. So you do not want to deal like I think in Japanese lore you generally need to run and hope you don't run into a Tengen or you better be cold.
Yeah. Now it does say Guido's talking on the phone. When they're talking on the phone, he's like, "We might end up meeting Tengen after all." You know we gonna see Tengen, right? You know, like we gonna see Tengen. Like
Of course.
you know, and we gonna see him in his full form. I'm pretty sure something gonna happen where they ain't able to stop it, and the dude goes full Tengen, and it's like the crazy finale or something like that.
He gonna turn to a giant winged bird, ugly hooked beak thing if they went by lore. And he gonna be knocking down buildings. Or he
Yeah,
gonna just be strong enough to blow them up.
he gonna be looking like Brother Noomsy when he done. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be pretty. But
No.
I'm gonna throw it to you real quick. What's your final thoughts, and where can they find you?
Final thoughts, I say, you know what? Mike has been getting on me. I said, yeah, I said for about the past 2 years, yeah, I'm gonna watch JK season 1. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I didn't, but I did watch some explainers.
Mm.
I watched the movie, and now I watch the prequel. Since now that we know with three things, you're almost watching it in order in the first place. So it's like, again, you could start off fresh. Yes, Mark, I'm talking to you. You can watch this without
Start
watching.
off
You know,
fresh.
you're really starting off fresh with the characters, and you can shout out to people who do good explainer videos. I know that ain't everybody's style, but hey, if you want to learn something, follow some of them cats. They do a good breakdown, and then you can jump right into this action, and then you can do it chronologically. Then you can flow into watching the movie. Then you can watch JK season 1, and technically you have watched it in three things in order. So I am
Hmm.
very pleased with what I have seen so far. They give a damn. The animation alone shows that they care. The voice acting alone shows that they get it, and it's not some of the same voices you seem to hear. I haven't listened to it in English, so they only have like 20 voice actors in English. They're starting to get a few extra voices. It'd be like the same 20 people who done did it for the past 30 years. But they're finally starting to let some younger and more diverse people break into the roles. So I need to check. I want to check the English dub, but I am thoroughly satisfied with the Japanese dub. I like what they're doing. I like the tone that they're setting, and the screwball, a little bit of screwball this of Gojo being kind of a dickhead, if you will. It's funny. It's just like, it just works. So y'all can find me at www.blerd-ish.com. That's www.blurs.com. Find me at blurred.ish on IG. I'm on Twitter for now. I don't tweet too much, but if you gotta contact me there, feel free. I'll eventually see it.
Not eventually.
Eventually. You can see me of course on the Facebook page, and I'm Keith Cooper on Facebook as well. And of course, if you need to reach out, contact, the email is on the website. Got a sale going on. Our T Public site is on the site as well. Get you a new shirt. Got 2 sales coming up in July, starting out now and later in the month. And of course, in less than a month, in 29 days, you'll see us in Baton Rouge with Mike, with Gamma Ray, with Mark at the Mid-City Microcon. We'll be doing a panel on that Sunday. Actually, in 30 days, our panel will be in 30 days. Our booths will be set up. Milton Davis will be there. Other people are there. We might have a Street Fighter 6 thing going. Other folks, Keith the Cartoon Man, Douglas, Baton Rouge legend, is going to get you straight, how to teach you how to draw a little bit. Learn a lot from that man. Come out, enjoy it. I promise you have a good time.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. And NERD, SOUL, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, podcast, all that jazz. My final thoughts are that I didn't know what I was going to get. I had no idea what period we were going to. And I once again have to tip my hat to Mappa. Mappa, you know what? You're good. You're good in my book. You know what? You got my trust. I've been holding back from you for a minute, so you got my trust. You got 3 animes rolling right now, and I like all 3 of them. But we here right now. We here. I think we're in for a very, hopefully, energetic chase or kind of cat and mouse around this Star Plasma girl, and hopefully seeing full-blown Tengen at the end of the season. So I'm ready. I'm ready to see some back-to-back Geto and Gojo action, and seeing kind of where they split as well. Kind of like where they start to change ideals as well. So yeah, I'm ready for this. I like this a lot.
Yeah.
So
same here.
With that said, until the next haunted house, until the next hotel explosion, this is from us to you saying peace.